Hello and welcome to another episode of Lansing Update. My name is Steve Bieda. I'm State Senator for the 9th District, which encompasses the cities of Warren, St. Clair Shores, East Point, Fraser, Centerline, and a little part of Grosse Pointe Shores. Today I have a very special guest. Name's Maggie Varney, and she is the CEO and founder of Wigs for Kids, founded in 2003. She's also the owner of Go Green Salon in St. Clair Shores. Maggie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator, for having me in today.
You have a very impressive background. You Governor's Service Award, Detroit News Michiganian of the Year, Macomb County Hall of Fame, Outstanding Volunteer of the Year, and it's just a few of the many activities and awards that you've received. The thing that I thought was pretty interesting, having met the former mayor of St. Clair Shores, a friend, Robert, was telling me about one of his favorite charities. It's Wigs for Kids. And before we ask you a little bit about Wigs for Kids, tell us maybe how you got involved with it.
Well, I have had the honor and privilege of serving adult patients in our community. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, and I own a full-service salon, and I volunteer for a program called Look Good, Feel Better through the American Cancer Society. And I go out to local cancer centers and hospitals, and I work with adult patients. And I had a 16-year-old child who came to my class, and I thought she was there to support her mother, but her mother was there with her. And at the end of the class, I always ask, are there any questions? And she took her wig out that somebody had given her and said, yeah, what do you do when you're a kid and you need a wig? And she throws this wig on the table. Of course, you know, sometimes they're angry. They don't want to be sick. And I thought to myself, well, don't you go to a wig salon? I mean, that's where I usually send my adult patients that I had worked with. She said, no, they don't have wigs for kids. And I went, really? So I said to my husband, I said, you know, I'm certified and accredited to work with adult patients, and I own a salon, so maybe we could help a few kids. But I had no idea that there were so many right here in Michigan. And that's really how the program got started.
So for anybody that has had a family member or a friend that's gone through chemotherapy, oftentimes the hair loss is an unavoidable side effect of that.
Sure.
And so that person is not only dealing with the health impact and the emotional, all the fear and all the things that a person goes through when they're sick, but they're also dealing with image issues. You know, they're looking at themselves in the mirror, and maybe they can't work out as much. Maybe they're not able to, they just don't look the way they normally look. And it's their self-esteem, and having a healthy self-esteem and feeling good about yourself at a time where all these other challenges are hitting you is going to be really challenging. And I could only imagine with a small child just how much more that is to deal with.
Absolutely, and it is about self-esteem. When I first started this program, that was my focus, helping the self-esteem of children. And because I know the impact for doing it for adults for 15 years, at that time was 15 years, I knew the impact it had on adults. So I knew that it would make a difference for a child. And you know, every one of us has been a kid at some point in our life, and we know how it feels to be made fun of. And these kids just want to be a normal kid. They want to be able to go out into society without being stared at and fit in. They want a sense of belonging and fitting in and being in some sense of normalcy. And you're right when you said that the families are just inundated with, you know, they're going through so much medically. And then to look in the mirror and not even recognize the person you see. And you know, that is the first visual sign to the outside world of what's going on too.
Yeah, and it's just a very, very good thing that you're doing, and I've been pleased to have some involvement with some fundraisers in the past on this. I think it just, again, you're dealing with a whole bunch of different human emotions and challenges that somebody's going through at a very difficult time. And it was kind of unique too. I don't know of any other programs similar to this across the state or the country, and it's located right here in the 9th District, which is really kind of cool because you're helping a lot of families, a lot of children, a lot of people. Now your salon has an environmentally friendly aspect to it too. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Yes, thank you. You know, we have Go Green Salon inside of Wigs for Kids. Because there is no funding for a program like this, I had to figure out a way that we could sustain ourselves. So we are truly blessed that we received about 4,000 hair donations so far this year, and it takes 10 to 12 ponytails to make one wig. But it also cost us $800 per wig to make them. So I figured if we put a salon in the middle and the people came there and donated their hair, half of it goes to pay the stylist and the other half goes to the making of the wig, because we have to have funds to have it made into a wig. So that was the main purpose for putting the salon in the middle, and also for them to have the whole experience of the place. Because when I started the program, it was all about putting the wigs on their heads. And then I soon realized that it was about 2 years into it that these children needed so much more, that they needed support with the psychological, social, and emotional aspects of it. And I thought to myself, you know, have you ever heard of Gilda's? It's a great support group for adults. And they can go there and they can help to heal, because there's so much that's going on, as you said. And there's nothing like that for children. And when you mentioned earlier that we're so fortunate that we have it not only in St. Clair Shores, but right here in Michigan, I get calls, Senator, from around the world, from Iraq, Romania, Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, India. I mean, I do every single day, and emails all the time. Where can I take my child? Where can my child go and get the services that you offer? There are none.
How many children do you help a year, do you think?
You know, it depends on how many children we get. Let me explain one thing. When you're an adult, from the time you're diagnosed and your hair falls out, you're looking at a year. When you're a child, you're looking at 3 to 5 years. And the recurrence rate is about 80%. So unfortunately, we see the children again and again and again. So this year, we have about 250 kids currently in our program, but some of them are from last year, and some of them are new from this year. And so that's how it, and some of them will repeat and come back. So at one given time, you know, we can have anywhere from 50 to 400 children in our program. We have serviced well over 1,000 children in the state of Michigan.
And this is provided at no charge.
Oh no, no charge.
No charge to the children. There's the wigs, the fittings, the cleaning and maintenance, and that's a lot of work. You know, and I know you expanded the program about 2.5, 3 years ago. So you've grown. You now include a wellness center.
When I started it, we were on the side of a building, 600 square feet. We didn't even have a sign, you know. I just knew that the need was there, and I thought, you know, let's, you know, and it just took off because the need is so great. Right here in Michigan, we have 500 newly diagnosed cases of kids with cancer every year. So think about that. And that's just with cancer. We also support children, like we're registered with the Phoenix Burn Society and also U of M Hospital. So we also service children who've been severely burned, children with hydrocephalus, blood disorders, alopecia, trichotillomania. I myself didn't know that there were so many reasons that children lose their hair. So, and we're proud to say that we service all of the children of Michigan. There are 8 hospitals in Michigan that address pediatric oncology, and we service all 8 of them. So just today, I was coming up here today for our interview, and I had been here at Sparrow Hospital about 6 months ago, and one of the doctors there who sat in on my presentation called me. Her daughter now needs a wig, unfortunately, and she's 12 years old. So as I was coming up for this interview today, I went to her home and measured and fit her child before the interview to save her a trip down, because the daughter's getting ready to go in for her surgery, and then they can stop and pick the wig up. I can go ahead and get it started for her. So
how long does it take to make a wig?
It takes about 4 weeks. So when the kids first come in to see us, we put them in a synthetic wig, and this gets them used to the idea of wearing a wig. Because when they want to leave with hair. Well, each wig is custom made. So it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to make them. So we give them what we call a temporary wig, which is a synthetic wig, and then when they come to see us, then they go into their human wig. Like this one in particular, a lot of kids will ask us, like, I want to go to prom and I'm going out, and can I style my wig in different styles? Sure, you can braid it, you can do all kinds of different things with it. But when we first get them, you know, we fit them. And most kids want to look pretty close to what they look like.
Right.
They, you know, but if they want, you know, because we have teenagers too, if they want highlights in there, you know, or they want a pink strand of hair in there, you know, we make whatever they want happen for them.
Well, that's great.
It is great. It's a great
you
program.
know, it's a self-esteem issue. I can only imagine. Well, I know people have lost hair due to other purposes too, and you know, it's not necessarily pleasant, I guess. But certainly when you're dealing with an illness, and then you have that issue on it too, and you know, you've got all kinds of emotional issues and psychological issues, and you know, person's immune system's compromised, so they may not be feeling well, and if they're feeling badly about themselves, it might make the situation even worse. And I've met some children that have gone through this program, and I'm really quite impressed with the impact that it has made on them. It's such a positive thing, and such a really kind of a loving thing to do to any fellow human beings. I just commend you for the work that you've done on that. I know you also have issues that you have self-confidence issues and other issues as children are going on. And I know with the wellness center that you have some therapeutic professionals that you work with that also assist, camaraderie therapy, that's really important. You're also a group that's supported your nonprofit. You have a fundraiser, and you solicit and accept private donations. Is that the primary way of funding this, other than, and then you have the Go Green Salon?
It is an honor and privilege to serve these children, first of all. And yes, we are solely funded through the kindness and generosity of the community. And this state has embraced our program and has allowed us to continue to work and serve these kids. And that is how, because there is no funding. And I wanted to mention that in 17 other states across America, insurance covers and recognizes the need for a child to have a wig, but Michigan is not one of them. So maybe this is something that we could in the future address.
I have a feeling I'm being lobbied for something
you
right now.
But
it sounds like a good idea.
It's really important.
It does sound like a good idea.
It's really important.
Because I know insurance does cover a certain other type of prosthetic devices and things like this, and when you're dealing with something like that, because it's just tied in with everything. You could tell somebody is feeling bad about themselves or their self-appearance, or they're so unhappy with what they're going through that it does tend to compound. And I've physician friends, they'll tell you how you feel about yourself when you're going through something like that. It makes a big difference in how you recover. And so it's really important. I totally understand that.
Well, and that's why we expanded our programming, as you said, to include the Wellness Center. Because we saw the need to support these children socially, emotionally, and psychologically.
Tell us a little bit about the Wellness Center.
So now we offer, art therapy, music therapy, and we did that for like 2 years. And now this year we've even expanded. Now we have an ancillary medical support office where the children can be seen one-on-one. In our Wellness Center, we also offer group therapy. Like the children will be in one area doing music or art therapy, and there's a sliding door that closes because we don't have the parents drop the kids off. We also help the family to heal. And in the next room are the parents, and they're working with dietitians, grief and loss counselors, psychologists, school therapists, because this affects the child in every area and the family. So this is going on simultaneously. Now they don't know that they're in therapy. They just think they're having fun. But it's the camaraderie and the friendship between them. And then they start Facebooking each other, and they start texting each other. And it's really great to see they reach out. They become pen pals. And I mean, it's so nice to see, because they now know somebody else like them. And they meet other children when they go to the hospital. But this is not in a medical setting. So they're not afraid, and they're open.
It's got to be very therapeutic. When you're going through something tough like that, it's, I hate to say the misery loves company, but you're really having some sense of common experience going through that, and particularly for children, it's very difficult. It's heartbreaking when I've seen this, but at the same time, I've always been impressed with the resiliency and the simple joys that you see in these things, and I know you get a lot of that with what you deal with. Now, if somebody wanted to contact you, you've got a website, I know. It's www.wigsforkids with the number 4.org, and then there is a you've got a phone number, 586-772-6656. So if somebody wants to get some information on that, they can look into that as well. Maybe I don't know, you have a Facebook site
We
as well?
do, we do.
So Wigs for Kids on Facebook. You go on like that, which is really interesting. And now somebody might have, I've been accused of having too long of hair certain times. If I wanted to donate my hair and go like get a buzz cut or something, not that I'm saying I'm going to do a buzz cut, but
Yes.
if somebody wanted to donate hair, what would they do?
Well, I happen to like your hair.
Okay, thank you. And you're a professional with
Yeah,
this too,
right.
so that's good.
But you know, boys, 10% of our kids are boys. So it is important, and it's so neat to see these great big Harley guys and all these men come in and donate their hair. And but we really have no way of knowing if their hair goes to a girl or a boy. But boys like to know that boys donate their hair to our program. But so we do have boys in our program as well. But if it's about 7 inches or more, we can use it.
Okay.
But we ask for 10 inches because 90% of our kids are girls, and girls like long hair. So, and once it's sewn into the cap, you know, these are all custom made. So we make a plaster mold of their head, and then it's sent to California with the hair, and it's all hand sewn and made. And then they send it back to us, and I style it and make it look like whatever style they want. And so, if you visit our website, all the details are on there, and you're always welcome to come by. You know, we're located in St. Clair Shores. Come by our center for a visit. We're open 6 days a week. But most importantly, when I have the opportunity to go out and speak, I always want people to know that we make it very simple for these families. You go online, you fill out a 2-page application, and you get a note from your doctor stating that your child is receiving treatment or has hair loss, a medical issue that's causing hair loss. And they call us and we get them in the next day. There is no waiting. We help everyone, we charge nothing, and we turn no one away.
And that's awesome too, because a lot of times families are not only struggling with the health issues, but the financial burden, and sometimes that's something, particularly that's not covered by insurance, you know, an unmet need that is being met here in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, which is, I just think it's awesome. The work that you're doing is just incredible, and we really do appreciate all the things that you're doing. But this is such an interesting program too. I think you mentioned you have a pool at the Wellness Center. Did I understand that too?
No, we don't have a pool. Maybe in our next center we will.
Oh, okay.
No, we don't have that yet, but we do have quite an extensive array of support groups and services for the children. Like if they're going for their senior pictures, they come in, or they're going for prom. They come in and one does their hair and one does their makeup. And there is no charge for any of their services that they receive. So they don't only receive the wig, but they get the kit, everything to maintain and take care of it, the shampoo, the conditioner, the sleep cap. When you lose your hair, you lose 40% of your body heat out the top of your head. So I have these little sleep caps, and I tell them they're jammies for their head. And so that they'll wear them, and it helps to keep them warm. But these are things we don't think of when you have hair.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess, yeah, you wouldn't think of it until it actually impacts you. I think it's just very interesting, some of the things that you've done with this. And like I said, the mayor was talking about it, and just a big supporter of it. And I met a couple other people that have had some experience with your program, and I was very impressed. That's why I wanted to have you on the show and let more people know about it in the community, because, you know, frankly, there's a lot of good people out there in our community that are doing a lot of good things, and I think Wigs for Kids is just an excellent program, and it's meeting a largely unmet need that up until you started this up, there really wasn't anybody doing anything with this, and I just think it's incredible what you're doing with all the children that you've helped over the years, and will continue to do in the future. And if somebody wanted to volunteer and do some work with you, do you have opportunities for people to, you know, as well as maybe financially donate, but to volunteer with the organization? What kind of work would they do?
We do. Well, I always say, if you're breathing, we can find a job for you. Because, you know, volunteers are the backbone of your organization when you're a nonprofit, and we're so grateful to all of them. We have brownie troops that come in and stuff envelopes for us, and we have grandmas that are 70 years old that come in and help us put our you know, our folders together that we hand out to the families and the kids. So, you know, we always have jobs for you to do. If you come in, we have guys that come and they'll, you know, paint, or they'll do repairs around there, whatever needs to be done. It's a labor of love.
And your website, does that list the volunteer activities
Yes,
or,
you can fill out a volunteer
resources that you need?
application. Yes, sir.
Okay, good, because I think a lot of folks might be interested in this. I think it's a really good program.
Well, it's a good way to serve the children of our community. And the nice thing is, Senator Bieda, if they donate their time, it's right to our kids right here in Michigan. If they donate their talent, they get to see what they've given. And the same thing with their funds, you know. So, I mean, their hair is walking around on some kid's head in our community. So if you donate your hair, I mean, it's true. So it's kind of nice to know that.
When you kind of mentioned this, when the children come in, you try to match them up with hair. Is there a certain unmet hair color need, or?
No, but you know, that's a good question, because strawberry blondes and redheads are a real rare commodity. But fortunately, the supply and demand has been able to keep up. So, no, there's a nice variety of people. You know, these young people are the ones who really donate their hair the most. These kids, I go out to a different school every single week and present. I was in Troy this morning, Troy Athens School this morning, presenting to their Honor Society. And 2 days ago, I was at Southlake presenting to 600 students. Because if they understand education is powerful, if they understand when they see a child like this, instead of bullying them or ostracizing them,